Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bunny Says. It's morning for me here, and I hope if it's afternoon or evening or nighttime, that you're safe and well. I sat here and closed the windows. I thought I'd get up early enough to get in a nice episode before the birds started going crazy. Apparently not. It's about 6 o'clock. Should be able to just get in a nice an episode and then head off to the gym and get there before everyone else. I have a nice cup of green tea with me, and we're ready to go. Now, before we start, I wanted to go back over our last episode where Rod had discussed his curse with us. Now, he said that he was in love with Fiorica, and she was walking one night out along along a lakeside, and she fell in and was drowning, and he rescued her. But he went to get help, and she woke up, and she was found and woken up later by her fiance, Desamond. Now, Rod made I'm not sure how the witches suddenly appear and know, but he wished, he wanted to become a prince so that she would notice him and that he could live happily ever after with her. You would think some of these people would, after the war and the like, that some of these people would get a little suspicious about these witches granting these great desires, and in that they know there's going to be some kind of curse, to go with it. So it's sort of like when that genie suddenly appears and offers you one wish, and you're like, one wish? What happened to the 3 wishes? And he says, "Oh, that's funny. You were saying that the first 2 wishes, And you're in trouble then. So, okay. So now we know that Rod traded in. He wanted to become a prince, and suddenly suddenly the king, King Gennaro, came to his mother and professed his love for her, saying that he loved her all this time, and he never forgot her. Now that brought into a big question for me. I was wondering, did the king really love her all this time, or is it just part of his curse? His wish that to become a prince, that the king would suddenly come and marry his mother. And suddenly, maybe the king did love her at a time, and his life was different, and maybe he still had fond memories of her, but was going on about his life, and then suddenly the witch came along and made him remember, and put the idea into his head that maybe he still loved her, So it's hard to know if the king really does love her or not. I mean, he seems to be very happy, so I guess that counts for something. But Rod, in exchange, lost his voice. Now, in return, he has some kind of rabbit on his shoulder that seems to speak for him sometimes, particularly when has strong emotions or strong thoughts, and he's trying to contradict them or something like that. Now that sort of confused me too. I mean, I thought he lost his voice, so he speaks, and then I think he's speaking through the rabbit, and then the rabbit suddenly turns around and says the truth in a different voice. So my guess is that the rabbit is talking the whole time, and Rod is not. Now, I'm not too sure about that. I don't know. But all I know is that I think there's a lot more going on with his curse than he's letting on. Or there's something more going on in the background. I think we're just scratching the surface. Viorica, the girl he loved, seemed to quickly fall in love with Desimond and really care for him, so maybe Viorica never really loved him in the first place. I mean, maybe she thought of him as a brother or something, and it was very painful for Rod. But in either case, he still hung around her, and he did confess and say that he wanted to try to win her love, even though she was hanging around with Desimond at the time, and that's why he went for the curse, I believe, and the fairy tale curse. But he now seems to profess that he wishes her to be happy, and he's estranging himself from her by, trying to stay away from her and limiting his contact with her. But I mean, that's probably a good thing. It's less painful for him, and it allows her to be happy, since she seems to really care for Desimond. So, maybe it's a good thing, I don't know. And that's why he seems to keep on saying that he does want his curse broken. Now that also brought up another question to me. If he does break his curse, does that mean that means he will no longer be a prince? So what does that mean? Does that mean King Gennaro will suddenly divorce his mother, or Ophelia, or what? So there's a lot of questions going on. Now, Lucette had gone to Viorica's toy shop to try to get some answers from her, and she didn't get very much, but then Rod came, and that's why he went into a private area and told her all this. So now that was the last thing that happened. Okay, so that was a very long introduction. Please don't be mad. By the way, I just wanted to say, before I go on, some kind soul subscribed to me. So I now have a grand total of 2 subscribers. Thank you very much. I just want to say, wow, there's actually 2 people. But thank you. And I hope you like what I'm doing. So, in the meantime, now we're in the hallway, the palace hallway. this has just been, I think it's been a little while after Rod and Lucette had spoken about everything. So, let's get right into it. Let me get a little sip of my tea. Okay, excuse me. I did not get the chance to discuss Rod's curse with him later that night, nor did I get the chance to speak with Parfait and Delora about my suspicions of Sir Alcaster. Days go by, but still I find myself overwhelmed by preparations for the ball. Things become more frantic every day, making it difficult for me to have any time to speak with anyone. Eventually, I decide to write a letter containing my suspicions of Sir Alcaster. I tell Parfait and Delora that I believe he might be the witch they are looking for. I also add that I believe Fritz might somehow be involved, though my suspicions are not as well founded with him. To make matters worse, he went and disappeared. I have not heard anyone mention his name here for a very long time. That's Lucette thinking. Oh, what happened? Oh, okay. I am forcefully pulled from my thoughts when I collide with someone. The linens I had been holding scatter over the floor. Excuse me, I did not... I look up and my voice trails off when I see who I bumped into. Please tell me it's not Sir Alcaster. Oh, it's Mithros. That might be even worse. I don't know. Mithros, lost in your thoughts? Sir Mithros looks at me, something veiled in his smiling eyes. I suppose those are the linens the Queen asked for. Yes, please excuse me. I begin gathering up the linens, but as I reach out for one, Sir Mithros picks it up first. Allow me to help you. I'll be fine. But this was partially my fault. Let me assist you. I bite my lip and do not protest as Sir Mithros helps me gather the rest of the linens. I am contemplating my schedule for the rest of the day when I realize that Sir Mithros has been talking. I don't suppose you have any idea on who that maid is. Maid? There is a cold amusement in Sir Mithros' gaze. Surely you've heard the rumor of the young prince having been seen with a royal maid somewhere around town. No. That's not good. The maid obviously is Lucette. He's talking about the princess and Prince Rod. So, rumor has it that Prince Rod has found love among the common folk, much like his royal stepfather has. Rod with a maid? Oh, now come on. She can't be that oblivious to what's going on. This is Lucette thinking. Rod with a maid? As far as I am aware, the only maid he has been out with in town has been... I freeze as Sir Mithros straightens, patting down his clothes for dust before holding out some of the linens to me. Okay, yeah, she does know it's her, so... Mithros. If it is true, I wish him the best, though I wish he would be more discreet about it. A royal scandal is the last thing we need right now. I shakily take the linens from Sir Mithros as he inclines his head to me. Have a good day, Lucette. He knows what's going on. There's also another question here that really sort of freaked me out. Is that, well, I mean, I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to think of it. Lucette is his stepsister, so they're technically brother and sister, so, it makes it even weirder, really. And I don't know how that would ever work. I mean, okay, well, okay, let's not dwell on it. I'm not going to go into it again. So, I walked to the dining hall in a haze, my mind whirling with the implications of what Sir Mithros just said. I'm sure it was one of those noblewomen who spread this rumor. Oh yeah, that's right, those noblewomen. The ones that were complaining about the Queen. And speaking of the Queen, here we are in the dining hall, and Ophelia's here. Now see, they were complaining about her dress. And I think it's lovely. I think it's really pretty. I mean, it looks really beautiful. It has pearls, and the necklace is really nice, and I think she looks really nice. So, okay, Ophelia's here. Lucette, thank you for bringing these to me. Just leave them on the table. I curtsy after placing the linens down as commanded. If that is all, Lucette, I straighten at the tone of Ophelia's voice. No, she looks serious. When I look up, I see that her expression is carefully still. Ophelia, I am about to ask you something that you might not want to answer, but I very much hope you will. Uh-oh. He said, I will answer if I can. Good. Ophelia sighs as she sits down on one of the dining table chairs and folds her hands on her lap. I've been trying to ignore it since the palace gossip is mostly false, but I can't help my curiosity. I wanted to ask about your relationship with my son. What? I understand you and Rod were out together in town a few days ago. Do you want to tell me what happened? Okay, alright, I have a choice here. Explain the situation or dismiss the gossip. Now, oh wow, okay. Dismissing the gossip won't help. I mean, there'll just be more gossip, right? I mean, they'll just keep going. And it'll just be my word against the gossip. And it will keep on coming to her and I think just the truth is the best situation. I just tell her. I mean, I wasn't out with Rod in the first place. I went to see Riorica. It just happened that Rod showed up, so yeah, I think I'll just explain it to her. That's what happened. So, if Ophelia is asking me about these rumors, then I can only imagine what sort of story those women made up. Okay. Prince Rod was just on his way somewhere when he chanced upon me. When he saw that I was in trouble with two noblewomen, he stopped to intervene. That is all. Ophelia, Rod said the same thing. Oh, see, so she had already asked Rod about it, so if I had said something different. Then why did you ask me, Your Majesty? To see what you thought about the situation. I don't think anyone should get a say in what your relationship with Rod is. My relationship with Rod? I like you, Lucette, and I'm certain you're good for Rod. If I had my way, I would let him court you. Court you? Oh, wow, okay. I feel heat in my cheeks as I trip over my words. The prince and I are not in a relationship. A member of the royal family cannot end up with a servant. Well, Ophelia looks happy. Where there's love, there's hope. Social status shouldn't stop you from being happy, Lucette. Then what about the fact that I am Rod's stepsister? Yeah, that sort of gets in the way. Well, I mean, right now, nobody remembers that, but Rod sure does. That will make it very complicated. But, and we should remember that Ophelia was the baker's daughter, I believe. So she wasn't exactly a noblewoman or rich or anything either. So she should feel good or inclined about her son seeing someone, of a non-noble stature that she doesn't remember, of course, that Lucette is a princess. Or his stepsister, apparently. Okay. I bite down on that statement fiercely. I already know that what role I am playing here, and I cannot break it. Ophelia looks at me with a complicated expression before she sighs. I will not push you on this any further. But be careful, Lucette. Your closeness with my son and daughter has not gone unnoticed. No, that's true. I do not believe in limiting relationships because of one's status, but... Lucette, I understand. I curtsy as I move toward the dining hall's entrance. Okay, Lucette says, what did Ophelia mean by that closeness not going unnoticed? I'm more worried that the witch hiding in the palace is obviously it's not unnoticing these her relationship with Emmeline and Rod. So okay. We are in the palace hallway again. Later that day, as I am waiting outside the throne room for Emmeline to finish one of her classes, two maids walk toward me and stop in front of me. Maid A. Lucette, isn't it? What is it? I have already finished all my tasks for the day. Maid B. Oh, I'm sure you have. Probably rushed through all of them so that you could hang around the prince and princess tonight. Now even the maids are starting to say stuff. The head housekeeper has been giving you a lighter load so you can afford the time to play around, I blink at them, confused. I have no idea what you're talking about. Don't play dumb. All the servants know what you've been doing. Just because you're Princess Emmeline's personal maid doesn't make you better than the rest of us. I'd be careful not to get too big for your boots, Lucette. Are you threatening me? What if we are? No, there's a voice. Some voice. Then I'd be very disappointed in you. Oh, it's Emmeline. Okay. The two maids look shocked. Princess Emmeline. Emmeline moves to stand beside me, a disapproving expression on her face. I did not expect such petty cruelty from the two of you. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Your Highness. Oh, Rod's here too. God. Rod, you really do have a talent for getting yourself into trouble. Rod. Rod pauses briefly, his eyes meeting mine for a second before he looks at the maids. Don't you have better things to do than bully my sister's maid? Maid A. We apologize, Your Highness. We'll be on our way. The two maids run off. Emmeline turns to look at me. Are you okay? I I'm about to answer when I notice that Rod is abruptly walking away from us. I frown at his back. He had only just started being nice to me, and now he's back to acting as if I do not exist. What did I do? You know, I'm just wondering. She said his name out loud. She said Rod. And she's a maid. She should be, you know. I think she's being a little too careless. She should be saying, you know, Prince Rod and Princess Emmeline and stuff like that. She shouldn't really be. She should be a little more wary of who's listening. And I don't mean just the maids. I'm thinking of the Sir Alcaster and Mithros and all that. So, because she's giving herself away too easy. Anyway, Emmeline puts her hand on my back and gently pushes me forward. You wanted to ask him something, right? I could see it in your eyes. Emmeline smiles as she pushes the door to the throne room open. I have a few more questions to ask my teacher. I'll be a while. Oh, okay. But she disappears into the throne room before I can finish. I glance down the hallway Rod just disappeared down, and then back at the throne room. My thoughts whirl together in a vague mess, until I make my decision. Wait. No, she runs after Rod. At the sound of my approaching footsteps, Rod turns and looks at me. Oh, okay. We have a choice. Either say nothing or tell him off for his behavior. Now, it says he scowls, but that does not say anything. You know, I'm wondering if he's a little more savvy about what's going on. And he's trying to remain sort of distant, knowing that people might be noticing. And also, he's the only one that remembers that she's his stepsister, so that might have something to do with it as well. He might be trying to keep his emotions in check. This is really getting complicated. So I don't know what to say. I don't want to, you know, I really would like to tell him off, but I think he's doing it for a reason, so I think I'll say nothing. You know, right now I would just like to sit with him and talk with him, so I don't want to be criticizing him. So, okay, say nothing. I feel abruptly tongue-tied when I come face to face with him. It's likely that my telling him off will result in some sort of altercation, and that would not be good. Yeah, and plus it would not look well if suddenly Lucette and Rod look like they're having some kind of lover's quarrel in the middle of the palace hallway, you know. Rod. What? I have better things to do than be gaped at. Rod turns away from me. I am left to stare dumbly after him. What is wrong with him? Normally he is not so afraid to speak his mind. I frown as I feel a dull ache throbbing somewhere deep in my chest. What is this? Why do I feel sad? Normally Rod's distance does not make me feel like this. And yet now, am I really so sad that he does not want to speak with me? I shake my head and take a deep breath to still my mind. It is better not to think about it. Oh, maybe I made the wrong choice. Chapter 8. The Ball. No. Maybe I should have spoke to him. But I didn't want to get into an argument with him because I think other people would certainly be looking and stuff, you know, especially those busybody maids. And, you know, what good would it do to just sit there and start just yelling at each other? Maybe it might lead to something, but still, you know, okay, well, I made my choice, so. Okay, this file is going on 30 minutes, and we better stop here, especially since the ball is now appearing, or coming up. This is going to be fun. I'm really wondering about this ball. This is going to be really interesting to me. It should be fun. Hopefully nobody like Sir Alcaster or Sir Mithro starts breaking it up and attacking people or something. Because I would like to see Rod dancing and all this type of thing. So I want to see how Emmeline does. I want to know how she does with her etiquette and all this. So okay, let's break for now. I'm going to do yep, okay. I have enough time. I have another hour before I have to leave, so I'm going to do another quick file, and I'll head off to the gym and come back, and then I'll put these, I'll format these files and do all this stuff, and put them up. So let's get one more file going. Okay, give me 1 second.